Women are being traumatized. Women are getting depressed. African women in Europe have lost their identity and are found wanting. Why? Because they have been impregnated by mostly African men, just in the name of a residency permit. What they believe was love was just another trick being played on them. We know, we've heard, you being on the desert, trying to come to Europe hasn't been easy. But that doesn't give you the right to ruin the life of Black women in Europe. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mavis Owusuwa, and today, if you are here on my channel, please hit the subscribe button, share, comment, and don't forget, this is supposed to be a dialogue. I'm trying to get a message across, so please help me do this. Change lives of others for the better. Residency permit. We know in Europe, abroad, hasn't been easy for so many people all around the world. But nowadays, African men target African women, African independent women, impregnate them intentionally in the name of love, just to acquire a residency permit. Now, let's talk about this. Let's think about this. What is the outcome of this? You give birth to a child you never intend to love. You impregnate a woman you do not love. That is inhuman. That is wickedness. That is you bringing the whole African society down. So if you talk of Africa and development, and you are in Europe, and those here who are ready to change are your target, my brother, you are doing more harm than good. I really understand your struggle. I know. I haven't been on the desert. I haven't been through Italy, through France, through all those borders that you had to go through. But I can feel what those women feel. I can feel what it is like to be a child that feels unwanted. I do feel the development of a child without parents. So please, find other ways and means than just intentionally killing your own women inside, leaving them depressed. Selfishness.
Psychopaths are not always necessarily murderers. You can have someone who is a psychopath who extorts millions of dollars in a banking scheme from someone. I'm not naming any names here, but there are psychopaths of all different kinds. But at the end of the day, they don't care about exploiting others because all they care about is meeting their own needs. They don't really care about others' feelings, but it's not like an angry, defensive way of not caring. It's they just it just doesn't compute, you know? So they show a callous disregard. They don't show remorse. They are impulsive. They are hostile. They can be very aggressive. The research that we have on psychopaths is usually based on studies that have been conducted among incarcerated individuals. So we get those data sets from jails, from prisons, and whatnot. So yes, the research says more males are psychopaths than females. What I would say is that there are more female psychopaths than we probably currently believe. Nobody thinks of a woman as a psychopath. Plus, when you think about the way men and women are socialized, boys are socialized to go get it on the football field. Girls are socialized to play nicely with the other girls, you know? So at the end of the day, males and females are both human beings and have a lot of the same central elements.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a hypothetical scenario. I'm at a party and somebody approaches me to start flirting with me, and they are a psychopath, but obviously I do not know this. What does that flirting look like?
Here are signs in a social setting that this person may be a psychopath. So they flatter you. They don't just flatter you, you look great. It is excessive flattery. They can't make you feel any better. They may make you feel like there is this connection between the two of you. It's who knows where it's from. It's like I've known you my whole life. They may try to ask you very personal questions that feel a little too personal for a first or second meeting. Now, the person may think they're doing this, that's a sign they're really interested, they really care. Actually, what they're doing is trying to get a sense of what makes you tick, trying to get a sense of your weaknesses and vulnerabilities, because later they will use that to their advantage. So the psychopath is motivated above all else by power. Life is a chess game. They are perpetrators, and they are going to win. There's no equality or intimacy with psychopaths. They couldn't care less. It's a game. They can be ruthless, and they will win.
And they love to play it.
They don't know any other way.
That's the only option. There are no options. Wow. But how would I know, though, if I'm being hit on by a psychopath or somebody that just maybe had 3 margaritas and really thinks, they're going to go for it?
So when you ask that question, you're not taking into account, Kyle, the actual instincts you have that would be at work, right? So let me give you an example. I could say something to you after just meeting you, having a couple drinks with you. I could say something like, you are one of the most beautiful people I've seen in my whole life. That wouldn't feel right?
No, that's weird.
Yeah. Where if I'd been like, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
That feels more normal. The way I said it, it makes you feel like it's like a line from a movie.
Right.
It's like they studied it. They're saying the words, but you're not feeling an emotion match up with it. So that is the most important point for the audience to take away. No matter the specifics or the mechanics in the interaction, something about the interaction left you feeling a little unsettled or a little bit distrusting.
Then why do people not follow that gut and intuition and say, man, this guy just flattered me, I'm going to go for it?
Because the people who end up falling prey to the psychopath, they're in a vulnerable place in their life. They're lonely. They have started to question whether anybody really could ever be attracted to them. Maybe they feel too old, too fat. You know, a lot of psychopaths will prey on the elderly, will prey on wealthy individuals, will prey on sad, depressed, lonely, isolated individuals. They make great targets, you know, like any of us. When our defenses are down, when we are not in a place in our lives where we feel really good about ourselves, across the board, we're all more likely to make bad decisions.
When, or does a psychopath use sex for power rather than for sexual gratification?
So sex and the psychopath, it's a very unique dynamic compared to anyone else and the relationship they have with sex. So when a psychopath has sex, it's not for the same reasons. For example, the research shows, as a rule, psychopaths tend to be more promiscuous. They tend to have more and shorter romantic relationships. Psychopaths will be motivated to have sex for any of the following reasons. Boredom, because psychopaths, their central nervous systems seek the thrill, the rush. So psychopaths may seek sex, no matter if they're married or whatever, because they need the rush to defend against the boredom. Psychopaths may pursue sex as a means of getting something. The person they're having sex with, they know has a nice place. And the psychopath doesn't have a place. So the psychopath might want to move into that place. So it's always for a reason. It's often boredom, it's for power, it's for money, it's for a housing situation. It's always for a purpose. And as much as the psychopath may act emotionally invested in the sex and perform, I mean, we're talking circus sex, that psychopath may give you the best sex of your life. But it's a performance. It's a performance designed to get the psychopath something that they want. And it's not intimacy.
Whew. That's the first time I've heard the term circus sex. Only from a psychopath, apparently. Goodness. All right. So if you find yourself in a relationship with a psychopath, you did not listen to your instincts, they got what they wanted, and they're gone. How do you begin to heal from that?
Well, healing after a relationship with a psychopath is not that different than the wounds it takes someone healing from a relationship with a severe alcoholic or addict or narcissist. It takes years to trust again. Years. This type of relationship, it's a trauma. And one of the sad things is, after you break up, even though you didn't really do anything wrong, you then turn the anger on yourself. I was so stupid. Why didn't I see?
Of course.
You tell people so-and-so turns out he was a psychopath. Do you know how many people will actually look at you but not say it and think like, you didn't see it?
Yeah, duh. Right.
So it's many years. What you have to do, if you have suffered from a relationship with a psychopath, with a severe narcissist, with a severe abuser, you need to say to yourself that it could have happened to anyone, that you will learn from your mistakes, that you will be in better touch with your feelings going forward, and that you will make sure your next partner understands exactly what you went through. And that is intimacy you'll have in your next relationship that you didn't have in your earlier one.
Well, that was my next question. I'm thinking about the person who's dating someone who had previously dated a psychopath. What do they begin to do to let them know, hey, I'm not that way. I'm not just using you. This isn't for power, especially when the psychopath did it so perfectly. If that happened to me, I don't know how I could ever trust anybody again.
Right. So if you are in the position of dating somebody whose last relationship was with someone like this,
right,
you need to understand that's going to be the white elephant in the room for a few good years in this relationship.
Wow.
Right? Kind of like you can start a relationship with someone who's depressed or has bipolar disorder or just started recovery from alcohol or drugs 6 months ago. You can have great relationships, but it's going to be a part of the relationship. You're going to need to deal with it. You're going to need to work through it together. When the person you're dating gets triggered and they try to turn you into that person that is the psychopath, that is the severe narcissist, etc., you need to not emotionally react. So just say, that really wasn't my intention. I really love you. I'm not going to try to hurt you. And then they say, yeah, but you just press pause and give them a little space. They are going to be dealing with the effects of that psychological trauma for a long time. So you're going to have to deal with some of it, but it's not your job to deal with all of it. And for you to get too involved or react to every single piece of it, you're going to get dragged down. It's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, that's understandably so. Well, truly fascinating, and I'm sure a lot of people will be a little more aware next time someone comes and starts to flirt with them when they're out and about.
Watch out for your sisters, mothers, fathers. Watch out for your kids. Ladies, listen when your friends warn you. Be careful in your movements. Most men are not to be trusted. In most cases, when it comes to dealing with Offenheit, as the Germans will say, a mere visa, just to be able to stay, they are willing to kill you inside. Wickedness. That's how far some men go. Watch out. Learn. And if you are a man and you are in need of a staying permit, a residency permit, there are other genuinely ways to do that. To bring up a family isn't easy. If you give birth with a depressed woman, if you raised up kids with a depressed woman, the outcome, only God can change. Scientifically, you've lost the battle already. So please, if you've done this, correct your mistakes. Erase some of the things that you have at the back of your mind and start. Be human. Think, what if she was my sister? Why? Feel for them. Having given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, 6, you knowing exactly you're not ready to even work to feed those babies. Irresponsibility. Let's learn to be responsible. Let's love each other. Be good to us, men. Be kind. Don't use us. We feel. We trusted you. So be kind. Don't let us down. Thank you. Please, I may or may not be right, but whichever way you think, I'll be glad if you comment down below. Start a dialogue. If you have had such a situation, speak. Tell us, share your thoughts and your experience, and let's motivate ourselves and get ourselves out. Yes, and thank you so much for being here. Subscribe and see you next time. Bye.